really solid keepers in Addison Romer for American. And then on the other side, Rebecca Kessler getting the start for the Bearcats. As we're ready for action, Eagles off and running, of course, working left to right in their home white uniforms. Ball is drilled to the sideline. A little bit too much on that touch as it goes out of play. Pressure from Cadspan in the backfield, and it retreats near the box, and it is on the foot of Rebecca Kessler, the talented keeper, the sophomore keeper for the Bearcats. The Eagles have their freshman starting in goal today in Romer. Bearcats won 1-2 this year as they beat George Washington 3-2. American is 1-1. They took a draw against George Washington earlier this year. The one common opponent both of these teams have. For the Eagles, Patriot League goalkeeper of the week, Romer is in goal. And then for the Bearcats, they're the preseason favorites, or favorite to get second place, I guess I should say, in the American East. They're coming off 2 American East championships, 5-0-3 last year. The Bearcats had 6 all-conference selections last year, but only 2 of those players are left, so they are a young team trying to figure out their style of play. The Eagles have more veteran leadership, including Izzy Cadspan in the box on the other end, and she's turned around by Garofolo, the star defensive player, the sophomore from New Jersey that made American East all-rookie team last year, one of the best defenders in the conference. And she was the only returning player to make an all-conference team last season. Brooke Herber, she's on the other end of that back line. She's a preseason American East all-conference team, the only player to be named to the preseason all-conference team for either roster, despite the fact that in the American East, the Bearcats are expected to finish second. An early set play for the Eagles. Brooke Steele, who had a big-time early goal in this past match against Maryland to set it. In the 59th minute, early in the second half, her first goal of the season. Her 9th career goal as it goes out of play. It'll be thrown in by Kovacevic. Now on the foot of Sanders. She tries to cross into a double team, but it's taken away. The counterattack on for the Bearcats. Ball rolled to midfield and turned back by Sanders. She had a very active matchup earlier in the year against George Washington as it sets to the middle of the field. A lot of action, some pressure early from the Eagles. That's one thing you want to see from them after scoring 2 goals against Maryland. Can they keep up that offensive tempo? Ball to the sideline. It will stay with the Bearcats. Chipped up by Paige Luke. That rare forward who can play both in the midfield and the back and then up front. Wearing number 29 for the Bearcats. Romer over to the sideline. Now midfield, dangerous spot. It's reversed to Bella Vozar. She scored in the first half of the George Washington game. One of 3 Eagles players to find the net this season. American trying to win for the first time against the Bearcats and trying to pick up a quick home victory in the home opener after playing a couple on the road. High ball towards midfield. It sails over the head of Steele and now on the foot of Martzler. She returns the backfield to Garofalo. It's a backfield featuring Garofalo and Brooke Herber, 2 really good players, 2 of the best defensive players in the American East Conference. And then for the Eagles, that means Cadspan and Brooke Steele and Vozar have their work cut out for them. Expect a lot of this game to be played around midfield. Both these teams try to work possession Defense is their strength. As a through ball goes to the corner, it's not a bad one. Chasing after it is the freshman Simmons. She tries to crush, and it's knocked out of play. This is going to be a corner kick. Nicely done by Olivia Simmons. The Virginia senior, she made her first start of the season against Maryland, played 61 minutes. We thought she might be one of the main returning players on offense, and now she's getting a big chance to start today. Phoebe Merrigan will kick from the corner. One of the team's best passers delivers the first corner kick of the match. It's high, top of the box, headed up in the air. And played nicely by the Bearcats as they look to run. The pinch from American, turned back over. Now Binghamton clears. First 5 minutes are through. So far, the Eagles have the advantage in time of possession. They've also had a couple opportunities, possibly one working here. Sanders to the sideline. Chasing it is Steele. She looks for a cross. Now back on her left foot. Steele beats the defender. Chip to the back post. High in the air. In the back box. And it rolls out of play. And it leads to a second corner. Brooke Steele, nice touch with the left foot. She's playing with confidence, making her second start of the year. Came off the bench to score that big first goal for American against Maryland in the 59th minute. Okay, Phoebe American, the Maplewood, New Jersey junior, her second corner in as many minutes. This one's closer to the post. A dangerous pass. Eagles with it. Out to Steele. Crosses back to the middle. Sanders turns. Thought about a shot. Has an angle. Touch to the box. Bounces around. The turn, the kick, and the goal for American. The Eagles strike first. It looked like Bella Vozar off the ricochet. We'll get a confirmation on that in just a second. It bounced around like a pinball, set up by Sanders. The first kick into the box was from Brooke Steele. And the Eagles lead 1-0. In the first 7 minutes, American strikes. Correct myself, Phoebe Merrigan. Phoebe Merrigan, I thought it was Vozar in the middle of everybody. Phoebe Merrigan with that goal, her first this season. That's her second shot, started with the corner, and then finished in goal. Bearcats on the other end. Mimas crosses, and ready for it is the back line of Avery Klingensmith. Phoebe Merrigan, the first goal at home this year for the Eagles. After 2 corners, both of them delivered by Phoebe, she brings it in. Merrigan usually comes off the bench, getting a chance to start today and making the most of it. High ball towards the top of the box, headed, end line. Who touched it last? And another corner coming up. It was last touch by the Eagles. This time, Megan Baker forced it. A goal in the 7th minute by Phoebe Merrigan. Now a corner coming from Anna Buckwalter, who scored a pair of goals against George Washington. Low line drive kick. Ready for it is Eliza Fisher. She anchored the Eagles' back line in that phenomenal win against Maryland, earning Patriot League Defensive Player of the Week for the first time in her career. She played all 90 minutes against the Terrapins. Gets her first touch on the ball today. Quickly on the far side. Here come the Bearcats trying to angle on the crossing pass. Maybe set up another corner. Defended smartly by Simmons. Now Simmons clears up the sideline, intended for Steele. Ricochets off of a Bearcats player, and a throw-in coming for the Eagles. Bearcats take the second opportunity on the throw-in, down 1-0. Bearcats have won both of the previous two matchups. These two teams have seen each other in 2001 and 2019. Both were at Reeves Field in Binghamton. It won 3-1 in the most recent matchup 5 years ago in 2019. Nobody on either roster, of course, was on the field at that time. Has a nice sliding tackle, knocks it out of play. After a pair of corner kicks, a 7th-minute goal from Phoebe Merrigan, her first goal this season. And the Eagles pick up right where they left off against Maryland, scoring twice in the second half and one early here. That offense seems like it's starting to find itself. That takes some time, new season, figuring out who does what well. But what a great stretch of scoring between these two halves, dating back to earlier this week for the Eagles. Now on the foot of Ozar. Sanders in the middle. To the sideline she goes. Well played by Merrigan to keep it from going out of bounds. Allison Falvo, the first time we've called her, one of those backline players for the Bearcats, takes it. In the middle, Mimas. Sanders went for the pick, and now reversing field. Here comes the Bearcats. High ball over the top. A foot race for it, and the keeper, Romer, will scoop it up. American, of course, coached by Marcia Harper in her 5th season. Neil Bhattacharjee in his 9th season as the head coach for the Bearcats. He has put together an incredible program. This is traditionally the best team out of the American East Conference. They've won the regular season the past 2 years, went unbeaten last year, went 5-0-3 in conference. They lost 6 of their best players, a handful of all-conference players to graduation. So it's a new team, but they're still projected to finish 2nd in their conference, a reflection of how stable this program is. They tied against Monmouth, and afterwards, Coach Bhattacharjee said he couldn't commend his kids enough for their effort they put in that game. Monmouth is one of the best mid-majors in the country. And then, of course, American beat Maryland. The first major conference win since 2004. So both these teams come in with plenty of confidence, but right now the Eagles on top, 1-0. Phoebe Merrigan scored in the 7th minute. An infraction on the Bearcats and another set play coming up for the Eagles on this warm early September day. In case you didn't check your calendar, it has changed to September. Raining earlier out in the area of Germantown, Maryland, where we're at the Maryland Soccerplex. Gorgeous facility. First year for both the men's and women's teams playing out here. It's been around since the early 2000s. Really pretty environment. Here's a chip shot and a deep ball into the box, up in the air. It's punched away by the keeper, Kessler, and rolled back towards the sideline. Rebecca Kessler is being tested, and a foul called on the near sideline on Hannah Mimas. Kessler, the sophomore from Scotch Plains, New Jersey. She usually comes in the second half for Binghamton. She allowed 5 goals in the first 2 games, but only 1 since. 3 saves in the second half against Monmouth, including a big save on a penalty kick to preserve a tie at 1-1 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left. High ball, top of the box, header, knocked down by the back line and turned back by the Bearcats. crossing field, intercepted by Sanders. She's been such an active midfielder for American. The sophomore getting a chance to start today. Played in 17 minutes off the bench against the Terrapins. She has the ability to put pressure on the opposing team when she's in the game. She's the kind of player you like in the midfield, number 20 for the Eagles. Was great against George Washington. A miscue from the Bearcats. And American throws in with the momentum, up 1-0, 15 minutes into this first half. A goal 7 minutes in from Phoebe Merrigan, her first this year. The fourth for the Eagles overall. In their fourth game, they had a 1-1 draw against George Washington. Did not score against VMI, and then 2 goals in the second half against Maryland. Now 1 here today. And now momentum as they work on the counterattack. A pinch on the sideline. Ball tight ropes the line, and it somehow stays in play. That thing looked like it wanted to go out of bounds and just couldn't. On the far side, here come the Bearcats. Roll to the middle, chip over the top, and that will be a throw-in for the Eagles. A handful of subs for American are warming up. Don't see anyone for Binghamton yet. Not a bad through ball, just missed time, and it rolls to Romer. Addison Romer, freshman goalkeeper who's been stellar this year. Only 2 goals against in 3 starts, 6 saves on 8 shots in goal. Coming off her first career shutout. She had 2 saves in each half against Maryland. Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Week this past week. Luke is bumped. And now a set play coming up. By my count, that's the first foul on American so far. And Luke earns a free kick here. But midway between the goal and midfield. On the near side, it's going to be Brooke Herber to kick it. Preseason American East All-Conference team. Had an assist last week against St. Bonaventure. Good passer out of the backfield, number 15 for the Bearcats delivers. Line drive kick left of the post, missed by about a foot. It looked like that was a shot towards the goal. I don't believe an attempt to throw it into the middle of the field and hope for a nice bounce. As McGuire subs in for Brooke Steele, she'll come out. More muggy day. We could start seeing some subs come in pretty quickly over the next few minutes. Unsure if there's going to be a water break. Right about that in-between level. It's mid-80s. Nice breeze blowing from right to left across the field. The sun behind us is shielded by a cloud, which really helps out. As Sanders tries to chip over the top, McGuire, fresh legs. Can't run it down. It's out of play. Jennifer McGuire, the freshman from San Juan Capistrano, California, has started every game this season. So coming off the bench for the first time, already 3 shots with 1 on goal, a regular up front. Just the 5th time in the past 20 games she did not start. As Coach Harper playing with the lineups, McGuire and Steele will probably oscillate from start and bench this year, but both will get a ton of minutes as the over-the-top pass is out of play. Klingon-Smith on the sideline. It's to McGuire again. She's on the opposite side of the field. Looks for a teammate in the middle, and it ends up at midfield. McGuire, an early goal. Or Merrigan, excuse me. Phoebe Merrigan, the early goal And the Eagles are up 1-0 against the Bearcats. Binghamton 1-1-2. Eagles 1-1-1. Bearcats haven't had a shot on goal yet. They might get one here. Ball top of the box. The turn, the look to goal, the back cross by Buckwalter, and it's turned away by Sanders. Still in a dangerous spot, though. Mimas, their top goal scorer. The stutter step cross into the middle, and it's ricocheted back to Mimas. Mimas turns and kicks, knocked by the back line. Sanders the header, and it rolls out of play, leading to a corner. The wall turns to a back line for American, protecting their keeper, Romer. They'll have to do it again here about halfway through the first half. Corner for the Bearcats. Trying to tie it up. This is a high backspin kick in a good spot, and Romer's ready for it. Addison Romer on the spot, leans and makes the save. That's why they gave her the Goalkeeper of the Week honors in the Patriot League. Save number 5 in the past 2 games. One test, this might be a second one. Gorgeous pass to Mimas. The chip is over the top. That was set up perfectly from midfield. A stellar pass. Romer came out, did as best she could, put the pressure on Mimas, didn't let her get the one touch and settle. Mimas had to rush. So a couple opportunities for the Bearcats. And American stands strong. One touch, Mimas to the sideline. Valvo, she's pressured. Reverses field over to Garofalo. I believe it was Garofalo who had that nice pass over the top. That's something she's known for. Nice pressure in the backfield from McGuire. Playing the role of a pest. Forcing the errant pass. And an easy scoop for Romer. A save for Romer, a goal for Merrigan. And now a foul leads to a possession for the Eagles. A collision at about midfield as McGuire bumped into Garofalo. Both seem to be okay. That's a good sign. Heard the ooze from the crowd out of concern, but both are moving fine. Pass over the top, rolls to the corner. It's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles. Dangerous spot. Got to be careful here. When anytime you're throwing in at the corner, it can be tricky, and miscue can lead to an easy shot. American with some tempo. Ball in the middle of the field. Touch to the middle, it's Catspan. Catspan tries to turn to the sideline where Bella Miller, who subbed in, got my number right, yep, Miller recently was waiting but couldn't turn it to her. Now a touch to the middle. Good job by Sanders to retreat. Bearcats reverse field to Falvo. Mimas to Buckwalter. That's the duo you have to watch out for. Mimas 3 goals, Buckwalter 2. Those are the leading scorers for the Bearcats, number 6 and number 10. You don't want to let her get set. That is the dangerous backfielder and phenomenal passer, Sofia Garofalo. And a throw-in coming up for the Bearcats as we approach the 20-minute mark. For Binghamton, Devin Lillis subs in. She plays heavy minutes off the bench. This is typical as both these teams, you're starting to see a pattern with rotations when players come in. As Lillis, each game this season, has not started but played big minutes. McGuire again tumbles to the turf. This time she tries to time her run. McGuire off to the races and just a little bit behind. Ball scooped up by Kessler. Good pass, right thought to McGuire. Kessler, who normally doesn't start but plays the second half in goal for the Bearcats, turns it to the far side. Garofalo looking for her target up the field. Instead, dumps off to the sideline. Klingensmith looking at midfield. She runs it to Stewart. Stewart races. To her right is McGuire. Stewart still has room, has a cushion in the box. Crosses to the right foot, fires and scores! Layla Stewart takes it nearly 3/4 of the field to drill one through the back of the net. Layla Stewart had an assist on 2 shots on goal against Maryland. It was only a matter of time. The defense let her get ahead of steam, put it on the right foot, and banged it through the back of the net. Stewart, the Georgia native, half of her shots this season have been on goal. Eventually, one of them was going to drop through. When you're that on target enough, you'll get your goal, and she has become a true offensive force for the Eagles this season. 2-0 American. The offense keeps on humming. What an exciting last 2 halves. The fun part is 4 different goal scorers have scored between the matchup against Maryland and today against Binghamton. You've got Cadspan, Brooke Steele. They scored against MD, and then today, Phoebe Merrigan and Layla Stewart. All right, catch your breath. This has been a wild ride for the Eagles over the past couple of games. They lead 2-0 against Binghamton, and now that defense just has to hold as American is trying to open up their home season with a victory, also trying to win for the first time against the Bearcats ever. They're 0-2 against Binghamton, losing in 2001 and 2019. Bearcats projected to finish second in the American East Conference. Maryland, member of the Big Ten, and so far neither have had an answer for the Eagles. Passively going back and forth, chasing is Bella Miller. She puts pressure in the backfield, almost forced a costly turnover. Binghamton trying to figure out the puzzle that is this back group for American, having a hard time getting it up the field. And it goes out of play. Maddie Hurwitz, D.C. freshman in. She attended the Basis D.C. Charter School, grew up just down the road. She's been pretty steady to this point. 42 minutes so far, including a handful against Maryland, getting some action to close out the first half. all Eagles. A goal in the 7th minute from Phoebe Merrigan. About 5 minutes ago from Layla Stewart. And in goal, the few times that Romer's been tested, she's aced with a save and a couple nice plays. First ever women's soccer game, at least in the modern era, for the Eagles here at the Maryland Soccerplex. They must like it here. Already 2 goals. Good vibes, good mojo already here at the Soccerplex. Binghamton trying to respond. They scored 3 times against George Washington, so you know it's in them to put up good numbers. Another sub for the Eagles. Marissa Lampert is in. She also saw some time against Maryland's. Coach Harper getting that rotation down, seeing who plays well with who. That's all part of these early non-conference games. Nice aggressive play in the backfield by Vozar. A little bit too heavy on the touch. Artillo, who just subbed in for the Bearcats, will concede out of play. Off the races goes Hurwitz. Nice touch to midfield. And some momentum for Klingensmith. She has space. Can go right or left. Opts for the left. The crossing ball up in the air. Back post. The header just miscued. And now out of play. Not a bad look. McGuire was there. Had a look on the corner of the goal. Just a little bit past her. Not an easy play by any means. Wow, that was fast. You like the tempo, the movement from American. McGuire right in the right place. That is a play that is going to work later on in the year. See if the Bearcats, with 14 minutes left to go, can maybe find some momentum going into halftime. They are the type of team that plays possession. They like to keep it in their backfield like you're seeing now, and that works great when you're up, but sometimes you get down early, that can be a challenge. I believe offsides is the whistle. High ball, a little bit short. Now the counter opportunity from Artillo as she angles sideline. Matched up by Klingensmith. Ball turned back, dangerous, bouncing ball. It turns back to the sprinting Merrigan. She had her eyes set on a brace. And taken back on the nice tackle by Lampert. Lampert trying to turn the corner. On the right foot, seeks space, dumps off in the middle to Klingensmith. And she is tackled from behind. That's going to be a kick and a foul on the Bearcats as Klingensmith slow to get up. Junior from Massachusetts, she'll be all right, just taking an extra second. Don't see a card, but I do see a great opportunity for American just outside the box on the left side. Trying to go up 3-0, 12 minutes left to go in the first half. Merrigan, who's delivered a pair of corner kicks on the left this time, has a free kick. The Bearcats settle the line. A bushel of Bearcats players defend the glob of American on the right side. This kick is with the left foot on the short side, and it's out of play. Seeing Sophia Miller for the first time. The Bearcats Harrison, New York freshman. She's going to be relied heavily for strong offense. No goals this year, but 3 shots on goal. Tempo slows down when the Bearcats take over. They're more methodical with their possessions as they dime it up at midfield. Miller puts her hip into it and is rewarded with the ball right back. Now Miller. A little bit short on the pass, but it's cleaned up nicely. Down the sideline. McGuire crosses. Left post over the top. Another look for the Eagles. That's what you want to see. Those wide balls going across. That is American strength. And the crowd lets them hear it. Nariah Goldman, playing in her home community from Germantown, attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School just up the road. Scored 44 goals with 25 assists in 3 years, getting some time. Got to be fun for her. I would guess that she grew up playing at this complex. Now gets a chance to compete as a collegiate athlete in the Patriot League at the Maryland Soccerplex. Soccerplex out here in Boyd's, Maryland. Germantown just up the road. Brooke Herbert's been quiet. Preseason American East All-Conference team. She's got an assist this year. See if she starts to pick it up as Mark Seller reverses field. There's some space for the Bearcats to operate with. Goldman closes the gap, crossing past the box. And a little bit over the top as it rolls to the far corner. And Tio unable to play it. It'll be a throw-in for American. Veronica Roach just subbed in. The Pottstown, Pennsylvania sophomore. Looking for somebody. Plays it right. Now Klingensmith can attempt to clear. Kavosevic beats one defender. On the sideline, little touch and go. Taken back by the Bearcats. There's an interception. Now the counterattack is on. Lampert touches, sideline. Goldman chasing, avoids the tackle. Not going to roll out a play. She'll have to keep it herself. Now it is out of play. Eagles regular season home opener. Start of the year, 3 on the road. Also trying to pick up their first win against Binghamton. And now 3 matches. They're in a good spot, up 3-0. Crossing pass in the box, left-footed kick, bounces around. And Kessler falls on top of it. Bella Miller was in the middle of the scrum. Merrigan scored 7 minutes in at about the 20-minute mark. Layla Stewart scored her first goal of the year. Merrigan had her first as well. Romer's been spectacular in goal, just tested really once, but made a save off a tough ball. She had to angle to her left and dive on the ground to make the play. Lampert looking for the through ball, intercepted by Buckwalter. Wearing the captain armband, delivered to the sideline. It was actually Brooke Herbert, making the nice play. The captain today for the Bearcats. Ooh, nice give and go. You can hear the oohs and ahs. Here's Miller approaching the box, dumps it into McGuire. And Kessler's ready. The offensive movement, A+ for the Eagles. It's been beautiful to watch. You like the spacing on that play. There've been a couple nice crossing passes. Everything you're looking for in a non-conference game. And a conference game, too, for that matter. But you just want to feel like you're clicking in terms of your chemistry, how clean your play is. What a fun story Addison Romer has been. The freshman from Leesburg, Virginia. You might have somebody special for a handful of years in goal. It's always a great feel. I'm sure Coach Harper feels fantastic about that, knowing they may have found a gem in Romer. Brown a little bit heavy, passing to the sideline as we come up on the 5-minute mark. American 3 shots compared to just 1 for Binghamton. The 2 that have been on goal have ended up on the scoreboard as they lead 2-0. Good-sized crowd here for the home opener on the American side, below us, below your camera angle. Always nice to come out on an early September day, watch some soccer. You know, the leaves will change colors from their pretty green to their fall orange and reds very soon. Mid-80s now, it'll be in the 70s, probably in the next month or so. A battle on the sideline. Davis tries to turn, and it rolls out of play. It'll stay with the Bearcats. 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Another tussle for the ball. This time, the flag comes up on Sophia Miller as she had a handful of Goldman's jersey. A free kick coming up for Eliza Fisher. Patriot League Defensive Player of the Week, the first time she earned that honor in her career. Ooh, dangerous play. And it's cleared in the back line, right on cue by Fisher. That's why she won that award. Great pass to the sideline. Keeping it inbounds is McGuire. She tries to cross, and it leads to a corner. Little plays like that. A gorgeous feed up the field. And then McGuire able to keep it in play. I thought it was going to be a corner. Excuse me, it is a goal kick. I thought the official was pointing to the corner there. Still a strong effort, though, from McGuire. Under 3 left in the first half. 2-0. Merrigan goal in the first 7 minutes, in the 7-minute mark, and then a Stewart goal at about the 20-minute mark. Romer, 1 save. American looks so comfortable in the backfield. Roche playing patty cake with Bullock, who just subbed in. Ricochets off the defender Martillo. Martillo, some positive pressure. Temperatures cooled as the clouds cover the sun. Breeze blowing right to left. Less humid than it was at the start. 2 minutes left in the first half. Valvo to throw in. Binghamton is thinking we do not want to go down by 2 at the break. If they can get something, even a shot on goal, that would be a confidence booster. Garfalo to the middle. Little behind the back pass from Martillo. Nobody home. And then Romer cups the ball 80 seconds left. Said it a few times, American has never defeated Binghamton. They last played in 2019. Both were up in New York. Eagles looking for their first win against this great program from the American East Conference, as well as a positive start to the home season. Race for the ball on the far side. Davis battles against a pair of Eagles, and it will be a corner coming up. Addison Romer with one save already will take her time. 30 seconds left. She can hold about a third of this away. High ball to midfield. 15 seconds. Eagles trying to run out the clock. McGuire takes a look up the field with 10 left. Maybe they'll have one more shot. The quick pass down the sideline. Now 2 seconds, just 1 second, the deep kick as the clock expires. And we have reached the end of the first half. The Eagles and the home whites. Temperatures dip into the low 80s. The humidity is down. The wind is blowing right to left as we're set for action in this second half from the Maryland Soccerplex. Quick interception from the Eagles as they continue their tight midfield pressure. They completely control the possession battle in that first half. That was the big key to the game. Both these teams try to play possession soccer. A little bit of keep away. And it was American winning that style of play. And you look up on the score and it's reflected. Miller to throw in. I believe that is Stewart on the far sideline. Tried to shield off the defender. Instead, it's taken back by Binghamton. Bearcats going to come out and play aggressive. You know, when you're down 2-0, there's some changes in the halftime strategy. You're not looking to possess the ball. You're looking to move it up the field. And that's what the Eagles have to think about as we start this second half. Here's a chance for American. And the always reliable Garofolo feeds it back to midfield. Eagles intercept. Back and forth between the two sides. Now on the foot of Brooke Steele. She tries to cross to the far side and does, as it's kept in play. Crossing ball, back left post, and over the top. I believe that's Bella Miller on the delivery. Booming kick up the field. This is what the Bearcats are going to try to do. Use their speed. Physical play from Mimas. And Romer just clears it to the corner. Dangerous spot. Couldn't tell who touched that last. May have been wise to let it roll out of play and take the goal kick, but I don't think Romer knew who had touched it last. So she played it smart. Did what she should have done. Nice fake. On the far side, Mimas puts it on her right foot, the dangerous goal scorer. Chips it to the far side of the box. And now a race for it is won by Sanders. And it rolls out of play. Sanders had a step on her opponent, Ryder, and just let it go past the touchline. Smart tackle from the Bearcats. And it rolls out, leading to a throw-in. Kovacevic. Ryder tries to turn and pass it middle. We're going to get offsides. We do. As Mimas mistimed her run. First home game of the year for American, their first game at the Maryland Soccerplex. It's been a good one, leading 2-0. Phoebe Merrigan and Layla Stewart both have goals, their first this season. .50 taken down by the Bearcats. You can feel the intensity pick up from Binghamton in the second half. They're trying to work quicker. If American can survive these first 10 or 15 minutes of the added pace, they're going to be in great shape. May also give them a chance to add to their 2-goal lead. Luke tried to turn, instead retreats. Over the top pass. Again, that's the strategy. Davis raced for the ball as she battles against Fisher. Fisher to the turf. Davis keeps her footing, looking for the cross. Davis sets up in the middle, on the right foot of Luke. She spins it back to Davis. Now again in the box. It goes past everybody and into the safe arms of Romer. You just don't feel like it's the strength of Binghamton. Those kind of plays, the through balls, the over the tops. Their strength is good backline defense and composed, time-consuming offense that often ends in a goal. They've had an impressive 3-goal game against George Washington, and that is stolen by Simmons. And she's met by Garofolo, all-conference player in the back line last year for Binghamton, turns it out of bounds. Cadspen to throw. The fake from Simmons draws the double team. Leads to a corner. Simmons the heady play. Making just her second start of the season. We thought she'd be one of the big returning players for American, and that has been the case. Now Izzy Cadspen, the grad from Longwood, Florida. Rolls it to Stewart. Back to Cadspen. Stewart circles around. Cadspen keeps it to her left. Bodied by Mimas. Cadspen crosses to the middle. Bit of a miss hit on the back line. It ends up to Stewart. She retreats to Fisher. Fisher the chip to the box. High ball punched out by the keeper, Kessler. I'm going to double check myself. I believe that is Kessler still in goal, but I can't be. It is not. So that is, there's been a change. That is Caitlin Williams in goal. That is the typical strategy for this Binghamton team. Usually it's Williams starting and Kessler coming in the second half, but this time Kessler starts, and the senior from New York, Caitlin Williams, begins the second half in goal. Solid start as she avoids trouble. Williams' second team all-conference selection last year. She has started every game but now 2. Her and Kessler have played 45 minutes each in goal this season, per game. And another opportunity for American. Good feed to the box. Racing after it, Simmons. Garafola delivers away. And now it's going to be the keeper, Williams, with the easy pickup. American keeping the pressure on. This is what you wanted to see, I think, if you're Coach Harper. Now, yes, you're up 2-0. You didn't want to come out lackadaisical. You know you'd get the best shot from Binghamton. Trying to go to above 500 for the first time this season. Binghamton threatens, and I believe that was Merrigan knocking out a play. Bella Miller, pardon me, actually with the defensive play. Sometimes tough. Tell the difference between the 8 and 6 from this distance, but that was Bella Miller. Good defensive play. It is a throw-in. Nearly a goal kick. Turns into a throw-in in a dangerous spot for American about 10 minutes into the second half. Phoebe Merrigan and Layla Stewart each with goals in the first. Fisher clears it out of bounds. Herbert a throw in. On the outside of the box, dangerous spot. Eagles ready for it on the back line. Simple clear. Not out of trouble yet. Herber, the touch, and once again the clear. Double team pressures on the sideline. Throw in for the Bearcats. Clark defended by Kovacevic. She tries to turn it to the sideline, so he's out of bounds. Lillis to throw in. Mimas turns, tries to cross. Shot on goal potentially. Cleared out by Sanders. Dangerous spot. The ball ricocheted middle of the box. And Sanders with the first to it. We mentioned her at the top, the type of player that brings energy, that brings pace, finds her way into the right spot at the right time, delivers to the corner. And now it's chipped out of play. Maybe the best chance to score today for Binghamton. They had a ball center box, nobody around it. And Lauren Sanders on the back line was the first to meet it for American. Stewart with one goal. Martillo on her back. Martillo chips it out of play. Sanders another chance with it. Just off that right corner. Crossing ball. Front post. The header is up. A second. And on the chest of Kessler. First one popped up in the air by Brooke Steele. Then Simmons had a crack at it. Breeze picks up from right to left. Maybe giving a little extra oomph to any shot from American. The spinning ball across the field. Touched on the left foot by Simmons. Now Herbert comes away with it. She retreats to Garofalo. High over the top ball. A race between Clark and Kovacevic. Won by the Eagles. Out of bounds. Thrown coming up for American. Kovacevic giving a nice round of applause for her hustle there. As she'll toss it in. A couple subs getting warmed up for the Eagles. Throw-in coming for Lillis. Rolls to Garofalo, back to Lillis. High ball, good pass across the field, past the back line. Martillo been all over the pitch, tries to run it down but cannot. Goes out of play. Kick met by Garofalo on the back line and intercepted by American, then just cleared out of play to the sixth row of the far side visitor bleachers. A couple subs coming in for the Eagles as Coach Harper pops some players off the bench. As Jennifer McGuire returns, Simmons is out. Phoebe American, who scored in the first half, is in. Steele leaves the field. So Coach Harper using the bench, keeping her players fresh. And this is why, for plays like this that get into the backfield of the Bearcats, defender falls. And a great play by the back line of American. Now the retreat to Williams. Rebecca Kessler got the start and goal for Binghamton. Now it's Caitlin Williams, the senior, getting her opportunity. Little touch to the sideline. Too heavy for Cadspan. It rolls out of play. Picked off by Stewart. Lillis pressured by McGuire. Little through ball past everybody, just 3 white jerseys around it. And the reset for Romer. A third of the way through this second half, Eagles leading 2-0. Phoebe Merrigan and Layla Stewart each with goals. The last 30 minutes or so completely controlled by the Eagles in that first half. Bearcats have had the ball on their side of the field probably the majority of this second. But the back line for American has retreated. They've packed it in. And it's been tough to even get a crack on the keeper, Romer. Just 4 shots in total. A couple of big save for Romer in the first half. Now the Eagles spread. At midfield, it's Casban. Try to turn to the sideline, could not. It's going to be a throw-in for the Bearcats. Megan Baker replaces Allison Falvo. Baker started the game, the versatile sophomore coming off the bench to begin this second half. American up 2-0 to set in the backfield, trying to win their second straight after topping Maryland earlier this week. They scored the past 4 goals of either competition, and now a Eagles player is down. It is Lauren Clark. She is slow to get up. Or excuse me, Phoebe Merrigan. Slow to get up, but I think she'll be okay. Gets a round of applause. The official gonna stop play for a moment. The clock also stops to give Merrigan an extra second. Merrigan shakes it off. She'll have the free kick, I would say maybe 10 yards outside of the box on the left side. It was Merrigan who scored about 7 minutes into the first half. Also delivered a couple nice corner kicks, one that eventually led to her goal. And now Merrigan the kick. Line drive through the middle. One hop to Williams. I think Merrigan was thinking, okay, I'm going to deliver to the right side of the post. I'll keep it on net. If it goes in, great. If not, hopefully one of my teammates will be there in position for a deflection. Oh, nice chip over the top. Dangerous spot. Off the races is Clark. Clark tries to center on the right foot. It's blocked by the back line. Clark chips to the top. Not out of the woods yet. Coming down with it is Ryder. She's tripped up, and a foul is called on the Bearcats. Great work by the back line to retreat for American and stop that opportunity for the Bearcats. Lauren Clark had a head of steam, trying to put it on her right foot and banged it off the back thigh of the defender. Now it's McGuire. To the middle of the pitch to Cadspan. Out the top to Stewart. A little bit soft on the pass. And it's sent up the field. Vozar will run it down. Scored a goal against George Washington. First goal of the season for American. Bearcats will throw. Only one shot on goal for the Bearcats. Came at about the 22-minute mark in the first half. Addison Romer had a dive to her right, but made the catch, made the play, and got the save. She has 5 saves over her past 2 games, has not allowed a goal, seeking her second straight clean sheet. Klingon-Smith. Now the middle's Fisher. Alex Marsteller's back in for the Bearcats. Ball rolls to midfield, and it's Marsteller with a fresh length to chase it down. Looking at the backdrop, you can probably see it. Such a gorgeous community in Boyds, Maryland, near Germantown, probably one of the farthest suburbs of D.C. There's some contact and no whistle. McGuire has it in the middle, dumps to the right side. Chance for the Eagles in the box. Player trips, Lampert falls. Waiting to see what the call is. It looks like it is going to be a penalty kick. The far side official was pointing to the corner. Now the head referee will conversate, and it's going to be a penalty kick coming up for American. As Lampert tumbled, she was tackled in the box. Now she will take the kick. Trying to ice it and go up by 3 with under 25 left to go. Marissa Lampert, the Illinois native, played 19 minutes against Maryland, seeking her first goal this season. Caitlin Williams in goal. Lampert. The kick coming. Lambert's kick is off the post. Just missed. And Binghamton has a pulse. Williams guessed right. Lampert, not a bad effort. Just missed by an inch. With a tackle at midfield as Martillo goes tumbling. And it'll be a set or free kick coming up for Binghamton. That is a yellow card. Came out, I believe. I'll try to listen for the name. Yeah, there it is. So it is Vozar. Bella Vozar gets the yellow. Got to be a little careful of your Vozar, up 2-0, and we'll see if she's able to stay out there. One way Binghamton could maybe make a comeback is if they have the player advantage. What a booming kick. Straight center of the box. Garofalo, that's where she scores her goals. Sends it back to midfield. Well done by American to play what was a very dangerous kick as Marcello reverses Back to the keeper, Williams. Eagles trying to keep momentum and follow up their massive win against Maryland with a victory today. Top of the Terrapins 2-0. Kind of the same story for Binghamton as they were able to hold Monmouth to a 1-1 draw. They're one of the better mid-major teams in the country. Both these teams coming off great games. And it's been the Eagles who have kept their momentum going, leading 2-0. A goal in the 7th minute from Phoebe Merrigan opened up the scoring, and then about midway through the first half, Layla Stewart delivered a goal that is one of the better ones you're going to see as she took the ball off a steal on the defensive side, dribbled it up the field. Nobody really stopped her. She got in the box, fired with the right foot, and scored. Are we getting offsides? No, that's not the call. They're onside. Binghamton, a chance here on the far side of the field. Crossing is Mimas, one of their top scorers, sends it in the middle, and Romer is able to angle it out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Addison Romer tightened the corner of the goal, spun to the side, and willed it out of play. American seeks their first win all time against Binghamton, who leads the series 2-0. I said 2004 earlier. The two teams actually met for the first time in 2001 and then in 2019. Both were in New York, and both were won by Binghamton. But right now, American trying to add on to their lead with Lampert, who just barely missed the penalty kick. Met by the defender Martillo. Passes to the middle. Bicycle attempt. And it's knocked away. They're back parallel to the ground. Jennifer McGuire tried the acrobatic shot, attempting to create a centerpiece for her highlight reel. Deep kick, bangs off the back of Mimas and rolls out of play. Going to be another corner. As Merrigan went for the kill shot from just outside the box. It's going to be Lampert to deliver the corner kick. Merrigan and Bella Miller on the far side, as is Klingensmith. At the top is Fisher. She's flanked by Stewart and Sanders. This one's towards the front. The jump ball, and now cleared. Sanders has had a great game on the back line. Here's Miller, looking for the middle. Miller retreats, crosses. Williams coming off the bench for the second time this season. That might be what Coach Bhattacharjee is thinking. He's trying to decide, okay, what's the best combo for these keepers? It seems like he likes to have Kessler and Williams split. That can be tricky for the opposing team. Of course, there's so many intricacies some keepers have that others don't. Some like to come out and play aggressive. Others rather stay back and guard the net a little tight. Kickers have different tendencies when it comes to goal kicks. They come to handling corner kicks. So when you have two keepers that are comparable, it can be a smart strategy to deploy to have them both just split halves up. It's worked so far for Binghamton. Their defense has been stellar this season. In the pocket, Binghamton On the back line, Fisher is ready. Her left-footed kick had backspin, and it goes to Klingensmith. She turns, and a spinning move from McGuire. She tried to work it up the field and couldn't. Now Stewart. Klingensmith. Over the top it goes. American on the counter. Slow roller out of her spot is Williams for the play. "17 minutes left. Binghamton needs to start thinking about the clock. We might see them alter their formation, try to put maybe an extra player on the offensive end. As time is against them, they've only got 2 shots. Nice first touch, Merrigan. Stewart chips it ahead, Lampert. Past her right foot, stolen. Little touch goes to nobody. Fisher the closest to it. Dangerous spot, Stewart. Already 1 goal. Does she have a second in her? Thought about the cross, instead pulls it back. Now Goldman, who just subbed in. Played her high school ball about a mile up the road in Germantown. Maybe a little further than that, couple miles, not far though. Great having you with us on this hot, humid, but cooling down Sunday afternoon as it approaches evening. The Maryland Soccerplex now entering the early evening hours. The new home for both the men's and women's soccer teams. The women's team, at the very least, creating good vibes, leading 2-0. As Garofalo taps it back to the keeper, Williams. A goal in the 7th minute from Phoebe Merrigan. And then Layla Stewart, about midway through the first half, added to the total. Mimas looking for something. She's got a couple goals this season. Delivers with a right foot, just wide right. You know what? I don't blame Mimas there. She had an angle. She's got the power. Already 3 goals, just not on target. Layla Stewart, a nice round of applause as she subs out, potentially for the last time. Cad's band is in. She took a long breather in this half. So in the past 2 games, Cad's band, Steele, Stewart, and Merrigan all with goals. Merrigan seeks her second. On her right hip is Baker. Baker wins that battle. Free kick at midfield for the Bearcats. Nothing there. As Miller subs out. Yeah, American has a kind of a quirky schedule to start the year. Not a whole lot of home games. On the road at UMBC. On the road at Richmond September 8th. On the road at Army to start the conference schedule. Their next home game is going to be against Bucknell on September 25th. A lot of people feel that having a non-conference schedule full of road matches prepares you better than anything for the conference season. Crossing ball knocked away. As Ryder, the left-footed kick, goes out of play. "13 minutes left to go as American leading 2-0. American the goal in the first half, and then Stewart the goal in about the 20-minute mark. American started the scoring about 7 minutes in. Crossing ball delivered towards the box from Garofolo to the back part of the box, and it's knocked out of play. And going to be a corner kick coming up for the Bearcats. These opportunities not going to be frequent over the rest of this game. Down 2-0. If you are Binghamton, you're thinking you want to take advantage of them right here. As Brooke Steele gets set to sub back in for the Eagles, so a little bit of offensive firepower, and Steele back in, that veteran leadership, as American tries to close it out. Kind of a sleepy last 10 minutes or so, but you know the Bearcats going to amp up the intensity. Here's a header to the right side. It stays in play, and now will roll out and be a goal kick. Dangerous moment for the Eagles. A header at the center of the box, just off target. Slow roller to the sideline as it rolls up the field. Chasing it is Garofolo. No, fatigue is going to play a factor over these next couple minutes. Temperatures were in the upper 80s to begin. They've cooled down to the low 80s. First day of September. Hot late summer day. Herber putting on the pressure. Little touch towards the box. Knocked away by Bozar, and it trickles out of play. Valvo to throw in. Luke draws a double. Now back to Falvo. The kick. And on the spot is Romer. Not a challenging play to make, but it's one she had to make anyway, and she did, as Romer falls on it at the 11-minute mark. Left to go in the second half. You can see the screws tighten defensively for the Bearcats. They're taking more chances, and they force it out of play. So a throw-in coming from Baker. Baker throws, touched by Clingan-Smith. She tries to turn, and it's taken back by Martillo. Rolls into the far side, and Falvo. Chased by Goldman. Goldman, nice defensive play to ricochet it out of bounds and at least stop the momentum for the Bearcats. But they get it right back in the box. Little touch to the top. It's on the foot of Buckwalter. Quiet day for her, the team captain. Now on the top it goes to Garofalo. Garofalo lines up the kick. One deflection, now a second. Still in the box, and cleared up in the air by Bullock. Dangerous spin as it bounces over to Mimas. A collision in the box. Thankfully everyone's all good. Garofalo's ball about 3 or 4 feet high. A couple chances for the Bearcats. Garofalo airmails the 9:30 mark. Not an easy kick from her, though. Just a couple shots on net for Binghamton. 5 shots in total for American. and just 2 for Binghamton. They've both been on net, but not difficult for Romer to play. As the Eagles seek their first win of the year at home and their first game of the year at home. It'll be their only home game until September 25th. Uh-oh, dangerous spot, Mimas. Mimas crosses to the middle, and nobody's home as it goes out of play. A couple chances, though, for the Bearcats. And that wakes up the defense for American. Easy to get sleepy, leading by 2 under 10 minutes. American comes down with it. McGuire on the far side, now in the middle. Back to McGuire. McGuire tries to turn and kick. Defense is ready. Bullock with it. Crosses the field. The move is made by Simmons. The shot is deflected over the top. A near gorgeous strike for American, and it leads to a corner. The phenomenal save by Caitlin Williams. Got her fingertips on it. Corner kick coming up for the Eagles. Izzy Catspan will deliver. The shot was attempted by Nariah Goldman. Looking for her first goal in her Eagles career. Just barely tipped by Caitlin Williams. And now the corner. In the middle. Bearcats kick it away. And a collision. And a foul on Binghamton as Simmons knocked from behind. Free kick for the Eagles. In a good spot, but looking to put this on ice. It's Izzy Catspan who scored in the 63rd minute against Maryland. Can she strike net in the 84th minute against Binghamton? Or will she opt to pass to a teammate to her right? Option 3 is Brooke Steele to her left. That's a pretty good choice as well. Here's Catspan. Over the top, and ready for it is Caitlin Williams. Seven shots in this match. 5 of them been on goal for American. Play is stopped as Steele tried to sneak away with the ball, but a foul called on the Eagles. Garofalo will kick. Not over yet. The Eagles can smell victory, trying to go over 500 for the first time this year. After tying in their first match, dropping their second, and winning their third, seeking win number 2 in a row. Some fancy footwork in the box. Delivery at the top to Buckwalter. Chip is over everybody's head, and a goal kick coming up. Clock under 6.5 minutes left. It'll be the first time the Eagles beat Binghamton in 3 opportunities. You know, Addison Romer's thinking about that second straight clean sheet as well. She was the keeper of the week in the Patriot League. Could a second straight award be a possibility? We'll see. It depends on what everybody else does. Oh, a little touch. Nicely done to the sideline. McGuire the target. She falls down, and a foul is called as Catspan try to break away. Fouls mount for Binghamton. They're going to have a great year, projected to finish second in the American East Conference. They lost their top 6 players, top 6 goal scorers last year. A handful of all-conference players lost them to graduation. It's a tough rebuild for this program and Coach Bhattacharjee. Catspan, backspin on the kick. But the fact they're projected to finish second in the American East is a reflection of how strong Binghamton's program is. Bearcats have won that conference in the regular season 2 seasons in a row. They finished undefeated last year. But it has been the Eagles' story today. They lead 2-0 behind a Phoebe Merrigan goal 7 minutes in. And then about the midway point through the first half, Layla Stewart added her first goal of the year. It's an American team that the coaches think is going to finish in the bottom third of the conference. But their results over the past couple weeks speak otherwise. A 2-0 clean sheet against the Big Ten's Maryland. And they're on the verge of another 0 on the board today against Binghamton. They can still add to it here. Dangerous spot for Simmons. Recognized by the defender Baker, and she delivers out of play. Simmons trying to turn the corner. Couple of fakes for maybe a split second, had an angle, but Baker closed it quickly. Bullock should play it off the hill and force the keeper, Williams, to waste some time. Four minutes left as Williams rolls to the far sideline. Nice confidence booster for American to finish strong. They don't come back here until September 25th against Bucknell. But they'll come back with only one memory. It's their first time playing at the Maryland Soccerplex, as both soccer teams move to a new home field this year. But they feel great about it, it looks like, on the verge of a 2-0 clean sheet. Back pass. Now to the middle of the field. And it'll roll to the sideline where Herper's waiting. High ball up the field. Offsides flag comes up from the near sideline judge. Now under 3 minutes left as American tries to play a smart final 180 seconds. Of course, we'll have the player of the game after, brought to us by Wegmans. Want to stick around for that to see who it is. A couple great candidates. We'll have the post-game report brought to you by the Eagles, the American University Athletics Eagles Club. All that in just a few minutes as we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, talking about a clean sheet, you feel pretty good about the win now if you're American. Looking for a second straight shutout, second straight clean sheet after topping Maryland by this identical score of 2-0. Binghamton trying to get some good positivity going to close out the game. Phoebe Merrigan a goal. Layla Stewart a goal. And now American tries to add on to it with Brooke Steele on the counterattack. Sets it up at the top on the foot of Catspin. She fires. Had a tough ankle and missed it over the top of the post. Not a ton of urgency from Williams as reality sets in for Binghamton. Of course, in these non-conference games, you're thinking 80% of the goal is to win. I think about 20% of it is, let's find out stuff that works. Let's get the right combination of players out there. Let's figure out what types of plays work best, because the meat and potatoes of the schedule, that is the conference season. That's where you want to absolutely excel. Both these teams had strong moments today, but American appears like they're going to come out on top as they'll work the clock to close out. Dangerous pressure. Almost taken away, and it's just kicked out of bounds as Kovacevic got in a pickle. Some physicality applied by the defense for Binghamton. American gets it out. The Eagles will improve to 2-1-1. A nice start in the non-conference season as Addison Romer lays on top of it. She and this back line about to earn their second straight clean sheet as Binghamton, they drop to 1-2-2. Ball goes out of play and the clock expires. Nicely done by American. They come out of the first ever game here at the